Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes. Nice to have you with us this morning. It is Tuesday, the 16th of December 2025. So I'm going to just move hands down a little bit. Time to get your presents for people. Come on, get your presents. Because, you know, it's not far off hitting the Anyway, so big shout out to Diz and Martin and Jack and Elle and Viper Scott and Amy and Colin Baker and Miss Elby and Sarah and Saz. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat here, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait for 1 minute and you'll be allowed to join in with the discussion. Today, we're going to be talking about the Tangerine Tyrant, the Cheeto Benito, the Mango Mussolini, the Orange Julius Caesar, the Agent Orange, the Orange one, the Orange Menace, the Pumpkin Pol Pot, the Fanta Fiora, the Dorito Dictator, the Citrus Caesar, the Apricot Autocrat, the Satsuma Strongman, the Kumquat King, the Mandarin Mussolini, the Persimmon President, the Tangerine Terror, the Mango Menace, the Citrus Caligula, the Neon Nero, the Orange Oligarch, the Spray Tan Sultan, the Bronze Buffoon, the Tangerine Toddler, the Mango Moron, the Orange Ogre, the Cheeto in Chief, the Orange Apricot, the Apricot Autocrat, the Fascist Fanta, the Fanta Fascist, the Citrus Clown, the Orange Ogre of Mar-a-Lago, the Marmalade Mussolini, the Sunkissed Strongman, the Oompa Loompa Overlord, the Fake Tan Fiora, the Fluorescent Fiora, the Traffic Cone Tyrant, the Dayglow Despot, the High Viz Hitler, the Spray-Painted Strongman, the Orange Emperor, the Tangerine Emperor, the Citrus Commander, the Mango Monarch, the Apricot Autocrat, the Orange Autocracy, the Orange Autocrat, the Orange Caligula, the Tangerine Tsar, the Cheeto Caesar, the Marmalade Madman, the Mango Megalomaniac, the Persimmon Potinate, the Citrus Dictator, the Satsuma Supremo, the Orange Overlord, King Rat of Mar-a-Lago, the Orange Rat King, the Sewer Emperor, the Sewer Rat, the Spray Tan Rat, the Gilded Rat, the Palace Rat, the Rodent in Chief, the Rodent of Unusual Size, that is Donald Judas Trump, the most horriblest human being ever created. Ever in the history of humanity, he is the most horrible. Because you can look back in history and you go, well, you know, Hitler had some redeeming features, i.e., he killed Hitler. Caligula, well, he might have been an absolute fucking gobshite, but he didn't really affect the people's lives living in what was then, you know, what is now Venezuela. Was it? Was it? Didn't really affect them. Didn't affect the Aboriginals of Australia or Papua New Guinea. Didn't affect the Polynesians. Wasn't really upsetting the daily lifestyle of the Zulus living in South Africa at the time. You know, it was kind of like concentrated in Europe and the Near East. Yeah, it's because of the problematic emperor of Rome. His reach was not universal, worldwide. So we could talk today a little bit about what Trump said yesterday in the wake of the horrific murder of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. But we covered that yesterday. News today, though, that the investment deal, the £21 billion investment deal, was it? That he said that he was going to, that Trump said he was going to bring in. He's changed his mind. We're not getting that. So after sitting there with Keir Starmer, signing a piece of paper and saying, yeah, this is definitely going to happen, apparently it's not going to happen anymore. So that's some investment that we are not getting. 31 billion tech prosperity deal has been put on ice, and it's a pledge to invest billions in the UK has been paused, and the US have cited lack of progress on trade barriers across the pond, which is funny coming from a country that has slapped tariffs on absolutely everybody. But yeah, even some of Trump's supporters have actually taken a step back after what he said about Rob Reiner, after Rob Reiner was brutally murdered yesterday, the day before. The widespread condemnation hasn't just come from the usual Democrats, celebrities, civil rights groups. It's come from the right as well, which is unusual, like the size of Trump's rodent features. Even Penis Morgan has urged Trump to delete the post. What's wrong, Penis? Do you not like the fact that woke has gone to die? You wrote a whole book about how woke is dead. Remember that? Now you've been all woke. You've been all sensitive after the death of a beloved filmmaker and his wife in America. You're being all woke, Piers. Oh, is it okay when you're woke? It's just not when I'm woke. Is that the problem? Because I didn't go to a posh private school for a few years like Piers Morgan did before he was dumped into a comprehensive. I bet he got the shit kicked out of him. I bet that's why he is the way he is. His name was Penis. I mean Piers. I mean Penis. And he went to a state school because his parents couldn't afford the fees for his posh private education. Might have a bit of a chip on his shoulder off the back of that. It would explain a lot, wouldn't it? So yeah, I even the some of the fucking lunatics like Trump's former lawyer, a woman called Jenna Ellis, said the statement was horrible and should be condemned. Conservative filmmaker Roddy Starbuck, he said that politics should be irrelevant. Thomas Massey, Republican, said the comments were inappropriate and disrespectful. And the GOP leadership has largely avoided direct criticism because, of course, they are, because they're all fucking cowards. They're all cowards. They're just Noel cowards. No offense to Noel Coward. He was pretty awesome. But yeah, Trump has a documented history of mocking victims, victim blaming opponents, the dead, using personal tragedies to center himself politically. Normalization of cruelty via political communication. But the irony is here that after Charlie Kirk, who was a pain in the neck, ironic the way he died, for most people who believe in things like truth and honesty and justice and caring about fellow human beings, animals, the environment, anything but your own bank balance. When he carked it, if we weren't allowed to make jokes, well, we were. But if we had an employer, then the Trump administration would go after us and try and get us sacked from our jobs. Luckily, I work for myself, so I can make jokes, about the fact that he fucking died in a way that I think he would have loved. I honestly think he went the way he would have wanted to. Charlie Kirk, he said it was worth a few sacrifices each year, to the gods, to the volcano gods of the arms industry. You got to throw a few virgins into the volcano, don't you? I mean, you've got to. You better human sacrifice. Never did anyone no harm. Didn't harm the Mayan Empire, did it? Apart from the fact that it collapsed. But, apart from the whole collapsing of the Mayan Empire because they kept killing people instead of, using them to actually work in the fields and actually grow food. And then they were like, oh, we've got no one to make food. Why have we got no one to make food, Mayan King? Oh, it's because we sacrificed all the young men because we wanted to make the rains come. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if the rains come because, at the end of the day, if there's no one to plant in the fields, then you're not going to get much corn or chocolate, are you, Mayan King, dickhead? But yeah, human sacrifice, huge thing in America. They just love to kill. They like to just murder brutally lots of people. 5 times the murder rate of the United Kingdom, America. Yeah, 5 times. And he talks about the knife crime in London. Hey. The knife crime in America is much higher. And they have guns as well. But there you go. So the fact that we weren't allowed, or we were supposed not to make jokes about Charlie Kirk carking it, when that was objectively funny because he died literally doing what he loved, which is, he said, prove me wrong, and then a bullet did. Yeah, on a college campus, and he campaigned to get guns on college campuses. So I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck that he's dead, because he has killed loads of other people by allowing people to walk onto college campuses with guns and walk around until one day, I don't know, they have a bad day, because everyone gets sad sometimes and decides to go and shoot up their fellow classmates or the people in their lecture hall or the people who, in the sports hall or whatever they fucking decide to shoot up. But they can't be stopped on the way in because of people like Charlie Kirk who ensured that you could walk onto college campus with a fucking gun. He said, no, that should be allowed. In fact, there was a response this weekend off a fucking daft American. I mean, not all of them, but there's a lot of daft Americans out there. God, my jingos, they are fucking dense. So dense they bend light. Who said, in response to the horrific massacre in Australia, the first in 30 years since the Port Arthur massacre in the mid-90s, in which 35 people died. And they said, oh, this is the problem. You see, if everyone had a gun, this wouldn't have happened. What? Because they could have defended. Yeah, you're going to take the kids to go to the lighting of the first Hanukkah candle at Hanukkah, right? And you're going to take your guns with you, are you? Just in case. You're going to say, oh, all right, kids, hang on. I'll go load me gun up and put it on my little fucking holster, stride into town like a twat. All right, mate, all right. And have you noticed how, they always think in America that these lawmen, turn up with the guns, that they're the good guys because, they've got a gun. No, what happens in a mass shooting incident, if anyone's got a gun, right, they fucking hide the gun and they hide themselves. Because if they pull the gun out in an active shooter situation to try and take out the shooter, the police, the emergency services who've just turned up, don't know whether that's the person who's killing all the children or whether it's the person trying to kill the person who's trying to kill all the children. They don't know. You're very likely to get shot by the police if you pull out a gun in an active shooter situation because they don't know if you're working with the shooter. They don't know. They can't read your fucking mind. Yeah. So, Senate Majority Leader John Thune has declined to comment on Trump's post about Rob Reiner. The Speaker Mike Johnson expressed generic condolences. If that's how you feel, I'm very sorry that's how you feel, etc. Probably. But there's this pattern of institutional avoidance on the right in America when Trump crosses moral lines. But I mean, all the people on the left, as far as I'm aware, in public life, were very sympathetic when Charlie Kirk carked it. Public expressions of horror and sympathy for his wife and who's currently pregnant with JD Vance's kids, or so people are saying. I mean, people are saying it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard they had a threesome on a couch. With a couch. Anyway, but yeah, and he's got children. So, when someone's got children, you can't just kill them. I mean, if they haven't got children, I suppose they're fair game. So I'm a bit worried. But this is the response. So the left are very clear, don't make jokes about Charlie Kirk dying, even though it was objectively hilarious that a guy died doing exactly what he wanted. Like he said, he wanted guns on campus. So someone went, all right. And that's how he died. He said that Americans need to die in order to further the profits of the American arms companies. And it was a price worth paying to further the profits, to increase the share value of the American arms companies. He said it was a price he was willing to pay. And he paid it. So, he's happy looking up at us now from the fiery fucking lake of shit that he's going to be in. He's going to be swimming in for eternity. Drowning. That's why hell was so effective at getting people not to be utter gobshites. So I don't believe any of these people who pretend to be Christian, right, especially in America, are actually Christian. They're not. They don't believe in it. They don't believe they're going to be judged after they die, because otherwise they wouldn't vote for Trump, would they? I mean, come on. They wouldn't be rich, would they? No, because rich people can't go to heaven, you can't get a camel through the eye of a needle. So they must know that it's bollocks, right? And if not, maybe they just want to spend the rest of eternity drowning in a lake of shit, fiery shit in hell, burning, mouthful of shit, try to keep above the the sloshing line of effluence for the rest of eternity. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I want that, definitely. Yeah, I'm in for that. But then I've spoken about this before. A lot of Christians, they seem to think they're going to have this great lawyer when they get to the pearly gates who's got to go, argue on their behalf. These people, these fucking motherfuckers, they couldn't argue themselves. They couldn't debate themselves out of a wet paper fucking bag. But they think they're going to have like this amazing theological debate on the gates of heaven, and they're going to explain that yes, they did that as a direct consequences of their actions. Children, babies in Mozambique were died of AIDS as a direct result of their political actions and their political choices. And they're going to try and explain via a very clever lawyer to St. Peter why that was a good thing, that those babies died. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck, knobheads. But yeah. So yeah, but I want to talk a little bit as well about the sort of broader climate of America at the moment, and just I don't think I had to explain this to you watching this, because we've got the regulars in. I can see you all in the chat having a great time, waving to each other and smiley faces, and it's a really good community that we've built here, which is wonderful. Thank you for that. But so I feel like a little bit I'm preaching to the choir on this, but like, don't go to America. Just don't fuck it. Just don't go to America. Just no. Just don't. Just fucking don't. Just don't. The problem is that these extortionate costs for FIFA and the extortionate costs for getting into the country, and you don't even know if you're going to be able to use your ticket because your team might not progress to the quarterfinals or the semi-final. There's enough people though. There's enough millionaires in America who will just go to the football because they can, and it'll be a status thing that they go to watch these two teams in countries I'd never heard of, these countries that they couldn't identify on a map. But they'll be there, sort of half watching, mostly on their phones, playing Sudoku, and that's a bit advanced, isn't it? The bubble burst game where you burst the balloons, yeah, the bubble burst game. They're sitting there playing the bubble burst game. And meanwhile, there's a match going on that people from the countries that the team are representing would absolutely love to be there, but they can't be because all the tickets are being gobbled up by greedy fans and FIFA, just being the most horrific organization on earth, in cahoots with the Trump administration, which is the most horrific organization that has ever existed. Like, you've got to imagine this, right? They are worse. They are worse than Hitler. Hitler didn't have nuclear bombs. That's simply it, And I can't wait for the big beautiful day to come. This is the thing that I think we're all going to be. See, what Trump has done with his reaction to Rob Reiner's death is given us absolute permission to celebrate the fuck out of the big beautiful day when it comes. When that horrible when that horrible fat little orange gobshite, that Cheeto Benito, is no longer with us. And God, I hope it's not fucking painless. I really hope it's not painless. I really hope there's a lot of suffering that goes on. I hope he shits himself to death. Basically, that would be awesome. Yeah, shitting yourself to death, that would be pretty awful. Yeah, please, I don't know who to pray to. Vishnu, Baal, Ra, the volcano gods of Polynesia, Odin. Can you please make the big beautiful day as hilarious as possible? I want jokes. I want all the jokes. I want all the sick fucking jokes for all eternity. I want to think about those jokes every day and just laugh like an evil motherfucker, because he's given us permission now. He's got no comeback. His supporters have got no comeback. Oh, you can't laugh about that, you sick fuck. I'm like, well, he did. Victim blaming, yeah? Victim blaming much? He said that Rob Reiner and his wife were brutally murdered because they didn't support him. Okay, cool. So when Trump is taken out by whatever means, yeah, that can go good, I guess. I can victim blame, say, well, it's your own fault, innit, for being a big fat fuck. Big fat orange fuck. Guy, I mean, how is he still alive? He just eats fast food. He eats fucking steaks. He burns the steaks and puts fucking tomato ketchup on them. Ugh. No class. No class at all. But, you know, Joe will be class. The big, beautiful day. That'd be fucking class. Anyway, it's Christmas, so I thought I'd set myself a goal. Probably upsetting some people in the chat here by going a bit far with my desire to see the big, beautiful day. But yeah, sorry about that. Confetti. Let's do this. Confetti. What even is that? Whoa, that's kind of cool. Right, so I've got there you go. Woohoo! We've got confetti coming. I've got confetti coming out my ears. What does it say? People say in the chat. Let's have a look. Camanola, Rob Reiner delivered some great lines as Mike in All in the Family. Hey Arch, you asking Sammy Davis Jr. to sing for you is asking him to work. How about you do some heavy lifting work for him? Yeah. I'm feeling much better today. Just a bit of a cough from smoking too much lol, says Liam. Don't smoke, it's bad for you. Reverend Kathy, I saw someone argue that the afterlife is just you living every life your life has touched. So if you help people, it's okay, but you receive whatever harm you did. Interesting concept. Yeah, that'd be great. Pete says he's a posh Hugh Grant character type. You know him if you saw him. Hang on, I'll have a look. It's worth watching just for Chris Packham from the really Wild Show. You have churchgoers and then you have proper Christians. The difference is one group go through the motions, thinking they will do enough to get through the pearly gates. Yeah, you're right, Chrissy. That is completely correct. And I have no truck with real Christians who honestly believe it and live their life in the way that shows that they believe what the good man Jesus of Nazareth said. I don't think he's the Messiah. I don't think he's the Son of God. But I think he said some nice things. He said some shitty things as well, but we tend to ignore those lines. He was really horrible to his mum. Has anyone actually read this book? But yeah, I think Confucius said some awesome things. I think Buddha said some awesome fucking things. Buddha, though, he was a Nepo baby, son of a prince. Yeah. Who renounced his worldly goods. Yeah, it's easy to do that when you're rich and you're talented. You can get a bunch of people on board, turn up in a village and you're like, hey, who's this guy? I was like, well, I'm the son of a prince, so, you got to listen to me. It's a lot easier to slum it when you can call your dad and he can stop it all. Yeah, just saying. Martin Harrow, thank you very much. Big, beautiful day. I don't think you've upset anyone. Good. Uncleaner wheat says, much more like I celebrated Tate being arrested by ordering pizza, I will celebrate the big, beautiful day by getting a McDonald's. Excellent. I love that. Amy says, he didn't fall. Inconceivable. That's what we'll say when Trump goes, isn't it? Inconceivable. I don't think that word means what you think it means. And Lost Missionary, I was born a Stardust and returned to Stardust. That is nothing else but big enough to satisfy me. Yeah, Lost. I think that way too. This is enough. This is enough. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about going to America, right? So we've got this expansion of invasive visa and ESTA requirements, proposed requirements for 5 years of social media history for travelers, collection of emails, phone numbers, family contact details. They want to know where your parents were born, when your kids were born, what their names are, what their birth dates are. This is supposedly increased security for anti-American or politically dissenting views, but it's not. It's data collection for Peter Thiel. It's data collection for the German South African evil fucking Gollum-looking motherfucker Peter Thiel, who owns Palantir, which he named after the Seeing Stones from Lord of the Rings, which weren't inherently evil, but were used for evil. Reverend Kathy, thank you very much for the £2 super chat for Christianity. See Billy Bragg's Saturday song. I like Billy Bragg. I blame Thatcher, and I blame Heath, and going back a bit, I blame Campbell Bannerman. I blame Disraeli and I blame Gladstone. Rob Reiner, producer, Northern Lee is All in the Family. What a great tribute to Johnny Spite's To Death Do Us Part. The original is forever my favourite. Never imagined how relevant these would be today. Yeah, so it was Archie Bunker over in America, which is the equivalent to our Alf Garnett over here in the UK. It was a remake. All in the Family was a remake of Till Death Do Us Part, and in Sickness and in Health, and they were both very much a left-wing piss take of right-wing gammony motherfuckers who constantly made a fool of themselves with their prejudiced ways. And yeah, that was the joke. That was the joke. It's a good joke. It's still very relevant today. Chris is saying that the shooter in Australia has emerged from a coma. That's a shame. Just what the fuck? What the fuck? Anyway, so yeah, the domestic atmosphere in America is really, really grim at the moment. You've got the increased presence of like National Guard in US cities. You've got these declining tourism. So they were talking about tourism being down like 10%, right? But in specific areas, it's down by an amazing amount. Like the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, right? So comparing this year to last year, month to month, it's down 50%. Tourism is down 50% in LA on the Walk of Fame, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That is devastating. The thing about tourism and the thing about people coming from other countries is they haven't earned their money that they're spending in your country. They haven't used your roads. They haven't used your schools, your hospitals in the getting of that money. They've used other people's resources in other countries. They've used sewers that other people have built to flush their shit down, right? And then they take that money from their country and they come to your country and spend it in your country. It is a net gain. Tourism for a country, except for over-tourism, which is going too far and damaging the actual fabric of the nation and the environment and stuff like that. But I'm just talking about sustainable tourism is an absolute fucking boon. It's one of the reasons why Liverpool could arguably be said to be doing better than other cities in the area because it gets a fuckload of tourism because of the footy, because of the Beatles, which is great. There's people from other places in the UK and other places around the world coming to our city for a few days and spending money in our hotels, in our bars, in our restaurants, on our public transport. It's fucking fantastic. Brilliant. Bring it on. Bring it on. But Trump doesn't like tourists because they're from other countries. And the rednecks don't get anything out of tourism because no one wants to go to their stupid, inbred redneck states. Like nobody who's like, yeah, I'm going to Kentucky on holiday. No. I'm going to Idaho on holiday. No. Who says that? Going to South Carolina. No one goes to South Carolina on holiday. They just don't. Might go to New York. Might go to Miami. Might go to Orlando and go to the fucking Disneyland place. They might go to LA. They might go to San Francisco. Yeah. They're not going to Oklahoma. I promise you, they are not going to Oklahoma in droves. They're just not. Maybe some people will go to fucking Graceland or something to go and see, lay some flowers at the gates of Elvis's old home. But I mean, realistically, when it comes to America, like the places that people want to live and the places that people want to visit, they're all fucking blue states. No one wants to go to the red fucking place. Have you been to Houston? It's a shithole. Houston is the most characterless city in the world. It is gobsmackingly characterless. It's just got some buildings, some horrible tall concrete glass, the type concrete glass steel buildings. There's nothing remarkable about Houston. It's just a shithole. There's a lot of shitholes in America. Like I was saying to Mike last night, my experience, and I've traveled around America a lot. I've been to at least half the states. Just not going to any of them more. I've seen the decent ones. The rest are just filler. Wyoming. Like, what even is Wyoming? You ever met anyone from Wyoming? Don't think so. It's fucking square as well. It's square. Who makes a square state? Fucking unbelievable. But yeah, museums, art galleries, major cities reducing massive decrease in footfall. The World Travel and the Tourism Council predicts 12.5 billion. That's real money, not fake monopoly money that people bet on cryptocurrency and NFTs and all that bollocks. This is real, actual money, hard cash, right? 12.5 billion less for visitor spending this year because of Trump. So let me get this straight. So Trump, no matter what else, has cost Americans, at least anyone involved in the tourism industry in America, at least 12.5 billion. Like, why would anyone go there? You know, and you've got the people who live there. I feel so sorry for law-abiding Americans who aren't fucking nutters. You know, the 77 million who voted for Trump, they can all fuck off. But like the ones who are horrified of what's going on, and the people who have a foreign surname or they have slightly darker skin than what Trump would like. He wants everyone to be orange, doesn't he? Mar-a-Lago face. It's just grim. It's just fucking grim. Wyoming should be the data center capital of the world. What? Because there's nothing else there. I woke up at 7, not bad. Fell asleep at 2. So why am I even awake now? I should still be asleep. Maybe I am. Ooh, spooky. And Jimmy says, I've been across southern USA, drove from LA to Hilton Head in South Carolina, lots of golf courses, but some lovely scenery going through. I've been on all the fucking freeways, which are not lovely. But then again, the motorways here aren't lovely either. Paul says, have you ever seen Eddie Hearn and Nepo Baby absolutely shred Roman Kemp about them being a Nepo Baby? I really don't like either of them, but it's very funny. Yeah, Aid made a really good point yesterday in our chat, right, about Nepo babies. And he said, if you honestly believe that you are talented enough, that your art, that your craft, your acting, your directing, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, your songs are good enough, submit them anonymously. Don't use your surname. Yeah? Don't be turning up and going, oh, my name is Gracie Abrams. I might not have a famous dad or not called JJ. Yeah, definitely don't have a famous dad called JJ. You know, don't just do it anonymously. Just make up a name. Send it off, you know. See how you do. Send it off to record companies. Send it off to talent scouts. You know, when you turn up for an audition, to give a fake name. Make a fake bio up. Don't say you went to private school. Don't say that your dad is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just don't say it. That'd be like the idea of making inheritance tax 100%. That's it. You can't leave anything. You can't. If there's anything left in your bank account on the day you die, it goes to the state. That's the rule. I mean, you can give it away while you're alive. Give it away to charities. Give it away to your kids. But you have to do it while you're alive. And you know, there is a limit. There is a limit because you know you can't earn that much in a year, can you? I'm having to pay some tax on it. Fed up people going, you get taxed twice. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know when you're getting taxed twice? When you have a limited company that your money goes into, that has to pay tax. And then you pay yourself out of that and you have to pay tax on what you earn, double taxed. And then you buy something in a shop and you pay VAT on it, triple taxed. That's triple taxing. It's being triple taxed. Yeah, that's normal for the normal people. The normal people who aren't Nepo babies, who didn't grow up in a manor house in the fucking Cotswolds. Many of us refuse an electronic US visa, have to visit the embassy or consulates in Edinburgh or Belfast. Not great for a 9-to-5 slot if live here in Manchester. If born in a country he hates, says Mr. Tis. That is very true. Leave enough to pay for the funeral, says Reverend Gaffey. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, it'll be 100% over 50 grand. That's it. You can get 50 grand. You keep the house. Carolina, thank you very much for the 5 US Dollarinos. There are very many beautiful things about my country, the US, but under these circumstances, I cannot currently recommend vacationing there. Thanks, Caranola. And I'm sorry for being bitchy about America at the moment, but after what Trump said about Europe being destroyed by immigration, coming from a guy who married an immigrant, whose family were immigrants, who lives in a country filled to the brim with immigrants for one generation or another. Yeah, it's a bit rich, isn't it? Graham, Politics Social is still going on the day I die. I'm going to leave the channel some money in my will. Oh, thanks, Sarah. You don't need to do that. You do not. Please don't. Yeah, don't be doing that. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just we'll rather have you. We'll rather have you. Can you please stick around for as long as humanly possible, Sarah? People don't get that you don't pay tax on what you leave because you're dead. Yeah, your kids pay tax on tax they earn by popping out of the right window. Popping out the right window. Unlike in Russia where you often pop out the wrong window. The window of opportunity. Is that what we're going to call it now? The female genitalia. The window of opportunity. British citizens, second class if we're born in the Middle East. Yeah, Mr. Tisk, and that is true. Unfortunately, because of prevalent, racism in the UK and in the US. At the same time, a lot of people have real troubles getting a visa for America, getting into America. I can't get an ESTA. I have an ESTA ban for the rest of my life. I now have a visa. And I was kind of like pissed off that I got this visa because I was like, I spent all this money and all this time. I had to go down to London and get interviews. But at least I did it while Biden was still in charge. So they couldn't really say no because of my social media or whatever, calling Trump a prick. But I've got it in my fucking black passport here. Under these lights, it looks kind of maroon, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Does that look blue to you under these lights? It doesn't, does it? That doesn't look... Honestly, I mean, maybe it's just me being colorblind, but does that look like an... Does that look... Okay, maybe it's just me. It doesn't look blue. But yeah, I've got a visa in there now. And I was like, pissed off. Pissed off I spent all this money on a visa. I'm not going to go to use it because what's the fucking point? I'm not even going to change planes in America because I can't be arsed with the hassle. But at the same time, I think, well, it's good that I've got it because when the big, beautiful day comes, I'll be able to have a visa to go and, do my pilgrimage to wherever the final resting place of the Tangerine Tyrant is. And I'm going to take a big, healthy shit on his grave. Shit all over his grave. I'm going to stream it as well. I'm going to stream myself taking a massive shit on the Orange Fuhrer's fucking grave. It'd be fucking awesome. Or maybe he shouldn't have a grave. Maybe he should do what they did to Osama bin Laden. His mate bin Laden, who was trying to finish off the job for. Bin Laden masterminded the 9/11 terrorist attacks in America. And we're not going to start an argument about whether he did or not. He fucking did. And fucking Saudi Arabian, protected by the American state, protected by the Saudi Arabian state, Nepo baby, rich kid, killed thousands of people. Gobshite. And he had four planes that his lieutenants hijacked. And one of them was supposed to crash into the Pentagon. Two of them were supposed to crash into the two towers of the World Trade Center in New York. And one of them was supposed to have crashed into the White House. Now, I put it to you that if they had crashed into the White House and they'd been slightly off target, because planes aren't that easy to maneuver, they might have taken out the East Wing. And I think that's what he wanted, because that's where women worked. That's where the first lady, that was their wing. So that would have been a good thing for the Saudis because they hate women. They massive misogynists. They hate women even more than they hate journalists and gay people. And so that's a sort. So I think that Trump is essentially finishing the job of Osama bin Laden, making America the pariah of the world, proving that America is the great Satan, which is what Osama bin Laden reckoned it was, proving that America can't be trusted and that they're weasels and that not all Americans, but the people in charge at the moment. Fucking hell. And the demolishment of the demolition, even. Demolishment, is that even a word? I made up a new word. Yay, I'm Shakespeare. The demolition of the East Wing. That's finishing the job of 9/11. Because that's what That's what Osama bin Laden wanted to do. He wanted to demolish the White House. And here's Trump coming along, finishing the job of 9/11. This is why in South Park it's got what's his name? Trump having a relationship with Satan. It shouldn't be Satan. It should be Osama bin Laden. His relationship should be with Osama bin Laden. Rosebud says, "Are you guys aware of the UN report on poverty? Richard J. Murphy did a pretty nice explainer. Fair report they've done. Each time they've illustrated clearly how poverty is a political choice. It absolutely is a political choice. It absolutely is, because they want everyone to just fall in line and do as they're told and not get ideas above their station, because it's not enough for the rich and the powerful to have riches and to have power. They need to take it from others. They need to take power from the rest of us. They need to take money from the rest of us. They need to deny us the small pleasures in life that they are afforded, because it takes away from their pleasure if that is a pleasure that other people can enjoy." With Nepo babies, it's not necessarily the parents, but the circles the parents are in. Mere mortals need to find the door before ever getting a foot in it. They don't even need to knock. Yeah, Paul. So do it anonymously. If you don't want us to call, exactly, you're absolutely right, Paul. If Nepo babies out there, if you don't want us to call you Nepo babies, change your fucking name. Change your name and apply it anonymously to stuff. Go on. Do it. British citizen, second class. I've read that one. Good shout, Pygmalion. What did Pygmalion say? I don't know. Can't find it. Ooh, maybe it's not in the live chat. Maybe it's not in the top chat. Maybe it's in the live chat. I don't know. Martin Harrow, he'll have a big fucking monument, no doubt. Yeah, which will be pulled down, I think, every couple of weeks by a rampaging mob. See, I do think that at some point that the MAGA lot will turn on Trump. I think the jackals and the hyenas will turn on their master. I think I could see that happening. Could definitely see that happening. So then we can talk about the fact that, in America, the rollbacks on women's rights, the attacks on LGBTQ plus protections, the effort to restrict voting access, and the weakening of environmental regulations, and the massive increase in military spending alongside domestic repression it just is just a really grim place at the moment. Like, America is the bad place at the moment, and it doesn't need to be. It could be doing great, but it's not. It's doing great if you're a billionaire and you invest in NFTs and crypto and all that bollocks. Did you see the report yesterday? Did anyone see this report about Trump's the NFTs and the bullshit cryptocurrencies that Trump has made with his disgusting wife, who doesn't even spend any time with him. I mean, she's horrible, but like, wow! Imagine not sleeping in the same room. Imagine not sleeping in the same building. Imagine not sleeping in the same state as your husband. Well, that's what she does. She's out having fun. She's probably got a bunch of men on the go at any one time, and Trump just sits there, chuckling to himself, falling asleep, being an absolute fucking gobshite, an absolute piece of shit. But yeah, I'm just trying to have a look at this story in CNN. It says these Trump bets boomed. Now they're huge busts. So Trump coin, which was started at the beginning of the year, is down 88%. So if you bought at the height, you would have lost 88% of your investment. The Milena coin, his wife's coin. This is NFT bullshit, cryptocurrency. And a 99% loss. Down 99% from its high. That is just insane. So Trump Media plunged below $11 a share on Friday, leaving Trump Media down roughly 80% from its pre-election peak. And this is because no one's using Truth Social. Truth Social drew just 1.5 million monthly active US users. See, the problem with Truth Social is it's writing, and you need to be able to be literate and be able to write to actually get the thing across that you need to say. You need to be able to read to understand what's going on there. And of the 77 million Americans who voted for Trump, only a tiny proportion of that number can actually read and write to any kind of decent degree. I mean, they can see the shape of the name Donald Trump on the ballot paper. They can and put an X next to it, which is how they sign their name probably. But they can't do much more than that. So it's a very restricted market. It's just the fucking lunatics out there who can also read and write, and there's not much overlap in the MAGA world. So only 1.5 million monthly users are using this thing, right? I mean, that is embarrassing. That is, I mean, Blue Sky is more popular. Blue Sky has 2.4 million viewers, monthly active users. And meanwhile, X has got 54.2, and Reddit has got 59.8 million monthly active users. I mean, they're just so much bigger. And the Trump coin, the Melania coin, just lost all of its Melania even. The official meme coin, it peaked at $8.84 on January the 9th. Sorry, January the 19th. So it would have been like the day before the inauguration or something. It peaked at $8.48, and now it's worth just 11 cents. So anyone who bought it at the top lost 99% of their investment. Trump and Melania didn't. They made loads of money out of it, which is cool for them, I guess. And also, the American Bitcoin debuted on the Nasdaq, which was climbed up to $9.31 in September this year, and meanwhile, it's gone down to $2. So that was a sound investment. So if you put $931 into this, you've now got $200. Great. And the other thing they've put a lot of money in was private prisons, because they thought they were going to get loads of people who were awaiting deportation, awaiting in detention for being deported, and that hasn't happened. They've just deported them. They just deported them straight out in the clothes that they're wearing. No judicial overview, no justice. Just pain and suffering and horror for so many people. But yeah, so that they've all been a fucking disaster. But there you go. Do you know who's done well though? Bitcoin. Bitcoin's done well out of all this, and European defense stocks. In fact, a good friend of mine who had quite a glittering military career. Actually, he spent two terms in Iraq and two tours of Iraq, 2 tours of Afghanistan. He's got the PTSD to prove it, and he was saying as soon as Trump got elected, he said buy European tech stock, defense stocks, buy it now, because I'm like, well, I've got no money to buy it. And he went, oh well. I could have been rich beyond my wildest dreams for making money out of, I don't know, merchants of death. Pretty grim. Of course it is, says Diz. It's all a big pump and dump. Yep, that's Trump's MO, isn't it? That's what he's doing to America. He's just pumping it and then he's going to dump it once he's made a load of fucking money. He's already made $5 billion at least this year so far. It's not even been a full year. Anyway, right. So we're going to go over to the papers now. How long we got? We've got half an hour left on the goal. Which is cool. Oh, actually, before we go to the papers, I want to just finish off what I was saying about Trump and him being a gobshite. So yeah, there is a huge question mark at the moment about whether America can recover socially, politically, economically, morally after Trump. Whether norms that have been destroyed during Trump's rule of terror can realistically ever be rebuilt. There's a long-term damage to trust and institutions, and international reputation of America, which is going to take a long time to rebuild. The effects of the Trump presidency might echo for the rest of, well, at least my life. I don't know how much longer I've got on this planet, but yeah, it's just it's really grim. You know, cruelty is a governing style, victim blaming to the point where you can take a beloved film director and actor like Rob Reiner, a guy who gave the world Spinal Tap, Misery, Stand By Me, North, maybe not North. Let's forget about that one. He gave the world The Princess Bride. And yeah, to turn on someone being murdered in such a horrific way, you know, by their own son, by the looks of things. It's just so grim. It's just so fucking grim. And yet Trump is making jokes about it. He's like, you should have supported me, you daft twat. If you supported me, you wouldn't be dead. What? Did you send their son to kill them, Trump? Is that what you did, Donny? But the gloves are off now. I can make jokes about Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I'm going to make jokes about when you cark it, Donny. I'm going to make so many fucking jokes when you cark it. I don't give a fuck when people come at me and say, oh, you can't make jokes about that. I say, well, your man does. If it's okay for Trump to do it, why isn't it okay for me to do it? Yep, two things that'll never get old. Charlie Kirk jokes and Charlie Kirk. Anyway, made that joke last night. Amy, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Was the curious orange actually Trump? That was the annoying orange. It was the annoying orange that was Trump. He is horrifically orange. And gambling is evil, says Pete. It's a sickness that destroys individuals and their families. I know 3 families of friends that have been devastated by gambling, one entirely by tell slots. Yeah, Pete's music, I agree with you. I don't gamble. I would not encourage anyone else to gamble. The house always wins. And if you're looking for your kicks, there are better ways of getting your kicks. Go and help someone. Go and help someone. You know, that's not a gamble. You help people and it'll come back to you. It will. One day, it'll come back to you. Pay it forward. Just be nice. Just be helpful. Just, help people out. That's what you want to put your money on. Put it on fucking charity. Make you feel better. I didn't know the film North because of the caustic review by Gene Siskel and Robert Ebert. Yes, it's quite famous, that, isn't it? Was that the one where he said, I hated this film? Was that the one about North? Saz, thanks very much for the £2 super chat. North. I'm going to look this up now. Film review. Robert Ebert. Jesus Christ. The film is Deep Throat Noise. North is a bad film, one of the worst films ever made, but it's not by a bad filmmaker, and it must represent some sort of lapse from which Reiner will recover, possibly sooner than I will. Alan Arkin was in it, and Elijah Wood. I have no idea why Rob Reiner or anyone else wanted to make this story into a movie, and close examination of the film itself is no help. North is one of the most unpleasant, contrived, artificial, cloying experiences I've had at the movies. To call it manipulative would be inaccurate. It has ambition to manipulate, but it fails. Oh, happier days. You can't hit everyone out of the ballpark. He made like 5 amazing movies in a row, didn't he? Or was it 6 if you include Spinal Tap? Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, Misery, When Harry Met Sally, Few Good Men. I don't know if that's in the right order, but it's about that. That's why I hated this movie. The gateway to most addictions is trauma. Most are traumatized by the economy, so I can see an even greater attraction of gambling now. Which is why we need rules and regulations coming in. Let's go into the papers. Hey, the Mail is trying to buy the Telegraph. Do you know why the Mail is trying to buy the Telegraph? We often go on about how Labour need to do something about press regulation and stuff. They did actually bring in a regulation earlier this year that said that foreign countries can't own our papers. That's why the Telegraph's having to be sold. There you go. Okay, so we will head over to the papers now. I hope. So when you get that blank screen there with just a scrolling text behind it, and you're like, hang on. And the computer's like, just give us a minute, Graham. Give us a minute. Let me adjust me wellies. Okay, we're here now. Okay, so worst day of my life. This is 12-year-old lad tells of car rampage hell at Liverpool parade. This is horrific. This is really, really, really grim. So this comes from, sorry, we're getting this animation, so I should turn that off. Go away. This is about Paul Doyle, the guy who drove into over 100 people on Dale Street and Water Street in Liverpool city centre. I used to have an office on Dale Street. I know it really, really well. I was out on the day of the parade, but we just went to the Chilwell Five Ways. If you know Liverpool, you know where that is. Couldn't see anything. Couldn't see shit. Couldn't see shit. Why? Because of all of the people with their fucking smoke grenades. Like, why are you allowed smoke grenades at a fucking... You know, you're there to see the team on top of the bus with the trophy. We were standing like at the side of the fucking roundabout. We were just like a few meters away from the bus. Couldn't see shit. And the acrid smoke, the toxic smoke, because obviously it's toxic, it's smoke for Christ's sake. It's not going to be doing you any good. Is like cloying the back of your throat. And all these people with these fucking smoke grenades setting them off. I'm like, no, that's it. No smoke grenades. Next time we have a parade, no smoke grenades. Well, then the day that what should have been a joyous day was left in tragedy and ruin after this fucking nutter, Paul Doyle, decided that he was going to drive into a bunch of people. And I've spoken before on this channel about how cars fuck people up. Like, cars turn people into monsters. They turn them into little fucking children throwing a fucking tantrum. And what was revealed in court yesterday, so he's not standing trial because he did it and he has admitted doing it. And he's going to be charged like 31 fucking counts. This guy's never getting out of jail. Probably till he's a very, very old man, if at all. He's 54 now. I can't see him getting less than fucking 30 years for this. This was horrific. They had the dash cam footage. The fucking dash cam. Sorry, I kicked the camera there. They had the dash cam footage and he was swearing. He was saying, get out the way, you fucking pricks, and all this stuff at people, like, and trying to charge through the crowd. And someone, they were trying to like open the door and smash the windows to stop him. And someone opened the side door and he closed it again. But someone managed to get in the back, right? They got in the back of the car. And what they did is they reached forward and grabbed the gear shifter. It was an automatic. And they held it in park, right? And the driver, Paul Doyle, he kept his foot down on the accelerator. Trying to just kill as many people as possible. Thankfully, nobody died. That's the only upshot of this. But it ruined. And people got serious fucking injuries from this lunatic driving like a privileged little twat. And it turns out he wasn't on drugs. He wasn't drunk. He just got behind the wheel of a car and he decided that those pedestrians shouldn't be in the road. And I hate this because this sounds fucking familiar because I've been in people's cars so many times. And if you've done this, take a look at yourself, all right? And gone way too fast past people who are at the side of the road or walking between two fucking parked cars. And then when you go, fucking hell, that was a bit, you could have hit them. Oh, they shouldn't have been there. If you've ever let those fucking words leave your fucking mouth, oh, they shouldn't have been there. Talking about pedestrians that you nearly fucking hit with your fucking 2-ton vehicle moving at 40 miles an hour, then, don't do that again, please. Learn from your mistake. I hope it makes you wake up in the middle of the night and give you that real fucking pain in the stomach where you go, oh, God, I can't believe I did that stupid fucking thing. That's how you should feel about saying that. Oh, they shouldn't be there. Because that's what Paul Doyle thought. He thought he went on to Dale Street, and there were loads of people there. It was a closed street. He shouldn't have been there in his fucking car. But when everyone gets behind the wheel of a car, they turn into the greatest driver ever fucking in the world. And everyone else should just know that they are the greatest driver. And if someone else doesn't indicate, they're a fucker. But if they don't indicate, that's okay, because that was just a mistake. If they, beep the horn, that's fine, because they're showing that something needs to be done. You're just letting them know. But if someone else beeps the horn at them, oh, you rude fucker, beeping at me, you fucker. If someone makes a mistake walking down the street and you go and you do the little sidewalk shuffle, where you sort of step left and you step right and you kind of walk about and you laugh about it. Try doing that in a car. Try doing that in a car on a country road and people go fucking ballistic. absolutely nuts at you because people turn into fucking psychopaths behind the wheel of a car. And it's like having a gun in America. It's just like, oh, I've got a gun. I'm going to be crazy now. Woohoo! I'm behind the wheel of a car. I'm going to be crazy now. So, yeah, I'm not saying what this fucking creep did in Liverpool will be done by anybody else. But I am saying that there is a direct line of causation here between people suffering from a car derangement syndrome of getting behind the wheel of a car and deciding that they are the king and master and lord of everything they surveil, and everyone else is in the wrong, everyone else is an idiot, and if there's some pedestrians on the road and they get knocked over by my car and fucking die, well, that's their own lookout. They shouldn't have been there. Yeah, stop doing that, please. Please, just don't argue with me and don't say, oh, but Graham, I like telling people that they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. They're pedestrians. What are they doing in the fucking road? My way, all the fucking roads in Liverpool would be pedestrianised. You park on the outskirts and you fucking walk in like you do at Alton Towers or Disneyland. People are happy to do that. You know, you go to a manor house, you walk to the fucking manor house from the car park, don't you? In the National Trust, you don't demand to park outside the entrance to the fucking manor house so you can have a look around. But for some reason, when it comes to shops, we have to park outside the fucking shop. You know, like we're going to be buying so much stuff that we're going to be, I can't carry all these groceries. You're not buying groceries. You're in town. You might buy a fucking jumper. You fucking carry it, for Christ's sake. Invest in a fucking backpack if you have to. Oh no, I'm in a car. Carry me. I'm in a car. Just carry me. I need to go to the cash point. Oh, I'll just park on this double yellow line to put the hazard lights on and hold up all the fucking traffic. Oh, I need to go to the shop to get a pint of milk. I'll just park on this fucking blind corner. Put my hazards on. Because heaven forfend, I go and find a parking space and walk for a couple of minutes. But it's okay for pedestrians to have to walk an extra half mile to go over the fucking pedestrian bridge to get over the fucking A road. Yeah, that's fine. They can walk. Pedestrians. There's people in the wheelchair. They can go up the fucking stairs and cross the bridge and down the stairs on the other side in their wheelchairs. Yeah. One of my pet peeves, says Diz. Are you talking about? It reminds me of the king in the car park. Lol. Liverpool is a tiny inner city. It takes 15 minutes to walk across it. Yeah, Martin. I mean, one of the things I love about Liverpool at the moment, because I'm really old and I remember when you could drive down Church Street. Not that long ago, you could drive down Paradise Street. You could drive down Lord Street. But now you can't. It's pedestrianised. And it's lovely. I like the pedestrianised Liverpool one. I know it's owned by the fucking Duke of Westminster, but I like it. I like the fact that you can, park up somewhere and just walk and just fucking walk. We just need to get rid of that bloody motorway that lies between Liverpool 1 and the Albert Dock. One day, my friends, one day. It'll be Chivis Park all the way to the fucking water. But yes. We're not there yet. We are not there yet, but one day we will be. But yeah, this is a really, really, really grim story out of Liverpool. So they've got 2 days at sentencing hearings. So they're having witness impact statements, victim impact statements being read out. And it is just really sad when you have a 12-year-old boy talking about it started off as the best day ever, but became the worst day of my life. He ran into a fucking pram with a 6-month-old baby in. He ran into a pram with his car. Like, I'm sorry, there's just no defending him. There's no way you can say, I was having a bad day. We all have bad days. Yeah, we don't drive into a fucking crowd of people, you fucking nutter. It's really good. And there's a huge significant impact on the people in Liverpool. Like, it's a small, big city. And people know each other, People know his wife. People know his kids. Their lives are fucked now. Forever. By his fucking actions. Like, what the fuck was he thinking? But it just shows, we need to take this stuff seriously. We need to take crowd safety seriously. And this wasn't some dickhead, thinking that he's been told what to do by Islamic State or whatever. This is someone who's just dropped his mates off in fucking town to go and watch the parade and then decided, I know. I have no idea what he was doing on Dale Street. Like, that's something that just makes no sense to me at all. Like, because he lived in Croxteth, so he would have gone along West Derby Road, right, out of Liverpool city centre. He would have dropped his mates off. Where did he drop them off? Did he drop them off? Because he couldn't have got down to the Strand or anything. I like the geography of it. Just what the fuck was he doing there? Maybe dropped him off on Tyke Barn Street. Okay, cool. Get out of Tyke Barn Street and go get back onto, go up Low Hill and then go onto West Derby Road. What? Rocky Lane. Why is he going? Sorry, I got all fucking Liverpool taxi driver now. In another life, I was a Liverpool taxi driver. I just don't understand what the fuck he was doing there. And he said, "Oh, as soon as I realised I was hitting people, and I stopped." And he didn't. He fucking carried on. He carried on down the street, trying to take out as many people as possible. Just the red mist descended, and he went fucking crazy. Thank God he didn't have a fucking gun, eh? Amy Walker, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Before I go back to the papers, we should set up a corpo town where pedestrians always have the right of way, lol. Pedestrians always do have the right of way, Amy. They always do have the right of way. Even on a fucking motorway, a pedestrian's got a right of way. You have no right to hit a pedestrian just because they're on the fucking road. And I think that's the way it should be. I think the pedestrians should have the right of way. They should be able to walk anywhere they want on the fucking road. Slow the fuck down. People complaining about, all the people on the road and they're all on the scooters and they're all on the bikes and all that. Just slow the fuck down then. What's the problem? It's like complaining about driving around a fucking a car park in the dark. Supermarket car park in the rain, in the dark. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. Slow down. Go at 5 miles an hour. It's all right. You're not going to hit anything. If you do hit anything, you just push them out the way. Don't worry about it. Just slow the fuck down. It's only a problem if you want to drive like a twat. I think there should be fucking horse and carts and people on, pogo sticks and unicycles and penny farthings and people, riding elephants down the road. Everyone should be on the fucking road. Slow the fuck down, you in the car. Just drive slowly. What difference does it make to you? Get to your destination a couple of minutes later. Oh no. Honestly, I would reopen railways. First would be the ones that are currently bypasses. The only one in my whole family that doesn't own a car, and it shows in everything they say. Yeah, Jimmy, I completely get that. I mean, I gave my MP back in like 2008 or something. It would have been after that, wouldn't it? Because it would have been. I think it was after I'd been travelling. But my MP at the time was Stephen Twigg, who famously beat the Michael Portillo in the 1997 elections. And then he was yeeted out of Enfield South in 2005. And they was parachuted in to Liverpool West Derby to replace Warbeck or whatever his fucking name was. There was a guy who was our MP, our Labour MP in West Derby in Liverpool. He was fucking useless, right? And anyway, so he was parachuted in. But he met up with me as a Labour member at the time. And, we had a chat and stuff like that. And he seemed like a nice guy. And because I was sort of an active member of the Labour Party, I saw him quite a few times. And one of the things I did when I was, traveling around the world, I guess, I drew up a plan for Liverpool's railway stations, like to revive the railway stations around Liverpool. We've got more closed railway stations than open ones in Liverpool. There's a train line that goes right by Goodison and Anfield. It's literally a few hundred meters from Goodison. There's a train line and a train station, but it's used as a goods line. They don't run a Saturday special for the match, which is just bonkers to me, because that line is connected to Liverpool Lime Street. So you come into Lime Street, get off your train, get on the special, and it could take you to the state. But that station is currently a Stanley Bet or some Bet Stanley or Stanley Betting, whatever. It's not used as a station anymore, and it would be so easy to just the lines are there. The train track wasn't dug up, and in my plan it also had the reopening of St James Station, which is very confusing because that would be ST James ST. Whereas we do have a James Street station, which is James ST. If you had a St. Stephen Street station, it could be ST. But moving off, in Liverpool we have a James Street station. We also used to have a St. James's station, which is now being reopened as the Baltic. But that was in my plan. Also, putting back the train line that went to Skelmersdale. Brilliant bit of urban planning this. They had the slum clearances in 1940s, 50s, and they decided to send the people who were living there off to go and live in Runcorn, Speke, and also Skelmersdale, right? Skem. And at the same time, they closed the railway station in Skem. So they moved all these people out to this, and I think it's one of the biggest towns in the UK that doesn't have a train station. It just got closed down. They ripped up the track. Absolutely fucking bonkers. And they did other things in Liverpool. Like there's the line that goes from Liverpool to Wigan. There's also one that goes from Liverpool to Preston, right? But they have buffers halfway along. So you've got to get off one train because that's Merseyrail up to that point. And then you get off and you walk down the platform. There's buffers on the line so the train can't continue, right? It's the same gauge. It's not like it changes gauge. It's going up a fucking hill or something. It needs to be a fucking narrow gauge train. It's the same gauge, same fucking tracks. It's just got these buffers on at the station halfway to Wigan and halfway to Preston. And I said, get rid of the buffers. Get rid of them and run trains to Wigan, run trains to Preston. Because the mad thing is, like, a lot of these train services, they didn't run on fucking Sundays and stuff. And they didn't link up as well. So you'd often get to the train station where you had to change, or Ormskirk or whatever. You'd have to change and you had to stand there at the station for 45 minutes to get on the next train to go. So, absolutely fucking bonkers. Insane. Just like, yeah, nuts. So if you were like to the west of Wigan, you could get on a train which would take you all the way to Manchester. But you couldn't get a train going to Liverpool, which was closer, direct. Yeah, you'd have to either go to Ormskirk or Kirkby or wherever it was and change trains there and then get on another train to Liverpool. Or you'd have to get the train to the West Coast Main Line and get on a station there and then go under Liverpool and round and in. An excess journey of an extra fucking 100 miles, because why not? But yeah, bring back it's not just a case of bringing back the railways. Like there's so much infrastructure that's still there that we're paying for. We're paying for all of these bridges that you don't even notice because you'll be driving along on a road or you'll be being driven on a road. You'll be going over hundreds of bridges that you don't even fucking notice. And what you're going over is all railway tracks that aren't there anymore, but those bridges still need to be maintained. They need to be checked. They need to be, especially the metal ones which rust and fall apart. They need to be painted. Need to be make sure they don't fucking crumble. And we're paying for all that infrastructure. We're paying for the tunnels. We're paying for the viaducts. It's a massive viaduct going into Merthyr Tydfil. I mean, it looks awesome, but it doesn't go anywhere. They got rid of it. Like a bunch of knobs. Really fucking grim. Really fucking grim. Ren, I'm having a switch off day, all the shit in the world. Last week is doing my head in. One side is fake happy Christmas and the other is carnage and hatred. Mixes you up, right? Yeah. Having a switch off day is good. Yes, car drivers are often blind to bikes unless they have ridden bike before. I always drive on to the left when there's a bike behind me. So many bikers say thanks for that too. Richie Goth, I'm not a big cyclist, but I don't complain about cyclists existing and slowing me down when I'm out having a drive. I'm like, well, whatever. I can understand people getting frustrated because they want to finish their journey, don't they? But at the same time, who gives a fuck? What's it matter? Where do we have to be so fucking urgently in this life? To make Dizz's confetti fix happen. Oh, thank you very much, Alistair. That is very kind of you. Got 7 minutes to get 2 new super chats in. Thanks to Ringo, Liverpool will always be served by the Thomas the Tank Engine. Absolutely. The old railway bridge over the River Spray collapsed over the weekend. It was used as a footpath. Yes, that's true. That happened up in Scotland, wasn't it? Was that in Scotland, Simon? Yeah. We need to pay for the upkeep of this stuff, and when there's not anything using them, it just seems mad to me. I would bring back the Liverpool Loop line, which runs pretty much in parallel with the ring road of Liverpool, Queen's Drive, and it connects Bootle with Walton, with Norris Green, with which is also Croxteth as well, with West Derby and Knotty Ash and Broad Green, and it also links up with Chilled Wall and down into Hunts Cross. And it would be a way of getting around the city on public transport without having to get the 61 or go into town and come back. But I'd still like it to be used as a footpath. So I would have trams. Just have trams. You know, like they have in, what's that place where people live? You know, Blackpool. Or Manchester. They have trams on Market Street, don't they, in Manchester? Just have fucking trams. And what's quite remarkable about the CLC line, the loop line, as it's called now, is it was built to have four count them, four tracks. Only two were ever put down. But if you go down there, all of the bridges that you go under, they're always double bridges. They're always double tunnels all the way along. So you could easily have a line that's used for the two tracks and then a line at the side for a footpath. It could be done. And we could have trams running up and down, and then they could link up at the top end. It could go through the park in Walton on the Hill, and there's a tunnel from Walton on the Hill that links up with Kirkdale Station. Bet you didn't know that. I walked through it once when I was drunk. Sid, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. One more for Dizz's Confetti, and also Saz has dropped in the last super chat, which means thank you so much, Saz, and everybody else. We can 3, 2, 1 release the confetti. Woo! Confetti. All very exciting. All very exciting. I stop for horses going past as well. When I'm running in the forest, I also stop for horses. Been thrown off a horse, not a nice experience. Yeah, which we get a lot of horses and buggies around here in Ballarat. Sorry, not Ballarat. I don't live in Ballarat anymore. I live in, what's this place called? Durham. Yeah, same place. Different place, same buggies. You know when they have a little buggy on the back of behind a horse? They still do that in County Durham. And give the horse a fuckload of space. Give the horse, just get as far over the road on the other side of the road and overtake them slowly. Do not race past them, and do not rev your engine, and do not beep your fucking horn. Viper Scott, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Chat, please support Reagan Elite's channel. Please join at 11 o'clock. Here is the link. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Viper Scott, can you have a word at Reagan Elite about me shunting everyone over from this over to Reagan's channel, over to his channel? Because, like I do in the evening with Max's channel. So we have Geoscope with me and Ollie, and then at the end of it, we shunt everyone over so they don't have to leave. Can we do that? Can we do that here? I'm just going to see if I can actually do it. Here, open tab in new link. Good morning with Reagan Elite. Okay, let's have a look if we can do this. Let's have a look. Search videos from other channels. Ooh, oh yes, I've done it. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what I've just done, Alistair? Do you know what I've just done, my friend? I've made it so we are linked. We are linked. You can just keep watching this. Oh no, I don't want to keep going till 11 though. Don't have that much to say. We'll see how we go. Tram lines, stroke motorcycles equal A&E visit unless you're super lucky. Be careful. Just slow down. Just slow the fuck down. So I've got no problem with them saying 20 miles an hour. It's fine. Do you know what? It's fine. Just slow down. Just chill out. They need to make cars more relaxing, so people can just chill out when they're in the car and just enjoy the drive. You don't need to go fast to enjoy the drive. Your passengers will thank you. Trust me on this one. Big transport plans are being drafted, are they not, for Merseyside, says Mr. Tisk. Yes. I like to think they're based on the plans that I gave to my MP, Stephen Twigg, when I said, here you go, here's some ideas that I've come up with as an amateur enthusiast in public transport. But I would like to see the trains back. I'd like to see trams in Liverpool. We had a fantastic tram system. I've got a postcard, which is a little map diagram, a whimsical diagram of Liverpool from the 1920s, and it's got all of the tram lines marked on it, all of the train lines and the stations, and it's got all the omnibus routes as well, and the ferries, the ferry times across the Mersey, and it's just like, wow, look at this integrated transport system from 100 years ago. Wasn't that nice? You could get from anywhere in the city to anywhere you wanted to go within about 20 minutes on public transport for, threepence halfpenny, whatever they used to have in old money. It's really grim. It's really fucking grim these days. I've no problem with the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, but the roads in Wales near me are at least so bad that you really feel the potholes at 20. Yeah, but unclean are we, as someone who's been in the passenger seat of a car that's gone into a pothole and we've lost the fucking wheel trim as a result. I think the slower you go, the better when it comes to potholes. In my transport fever dream, Liverpool has great rail connections all through Liverpool Hughes station. No, I wouldn't call it after me. That's a bit Trumpian. I would just call it the I'll call it something cool. Liverpool Federation Station. Amy Walker, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Automate all transport, annoy the gammon. Yeah. So I can't see us having, and I've said this before, I can't see all our automated cars on the road. I think there'll be set routes for automated vehicles, but it's still going to be difficult because what if one of them goes mad? One of them has to make a fucking moral decision. It's very difficult. I don't know. And then you've got the different driving circumstances. Like, good luck if it's been snowing here in Durham and you're trying to get up and down the hill. Like, seriously, there's a hill going in and out of this village here, and cars just go all over the fucking shop when it's been snowing. Especially if our shitty fucking Refut Council haven't bothered putting the fucking salt out. They haven't gritted the roads. Council gritters. Pete says, guy in town spooked a horse and it ran right over his car, bonnet to boot. Insurance company wouldn't pay a penny, citing he should have avoided getting too close and spooking the animal. I don't often say this, my friend, but I'm with the insurance company on that one. I really am. I just want everyone to chill out. If there was one thing, they say, oh, what's the one thing you could do to make life better for everyone? If you had a magic wand, I just want everyone to chill the fuck out. Just have a good time. As long as it's not hurting anybody else, just have a good time. Stop making life horrible for other people because of the mode of transport they use to get to work, or because of whatever fucking skin color or religion or bullshit accent people have got. Stop it. Just chill. Just whatever their sexuality is or whatever their gender identity is. What the fuck does it matter? Are they hurting anyone? No. Okay, well, go with God. Just enjoy your life. No, you can't marry them. Why not? Oh, it's wrong. Make baby Jesus cry if you marry that person. Okay, so we're going to have a law that says that gay people can't get married. Right, that was a law until 2013. Gay people you could get married if you weren't gay. If you were gay, you couldn't get married. You get a civil partnership. Couldn't get married. Why not? Oh, because Jesus wouldn't like it. Jesus, what, that 33-year-old man who had no job and fucking hung around with sailors and prostitutes and wasn't married and... Yeah, all right, mate. I'm sure he would have been mortified. Mortified at the very idea of two people who love each other spending the rest of their lives together and making that commitment in front of all their family and friends and the inventor of the universe. I'm sure it would have... Do you know what would probably upset Jesus more? Marrying the wrong person. Falling in love with the wrong person. I think that makes baby Jesus cry. But we've all done it. And we'll all do it again, possibly, before, the end of the line. Can't help it. Help who you fall in love with. They fall in love with you too. And then, maybe years later, your mates will turn around to you, and say, well, I could have told you that they were wrong. And you're like, you could have told me at the time. And then they say to you, we did tell you. You just ignored us because you were in love. At which point you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, you did. Anyway, so you did. That's why I didn't speak to you for 5 years. Anyway, so we'll go back to the papers now. And there's a really grim. There's like both covers here are really grim. There's a story about Cliff Richard, which is sad. He's been treated for prostate cancer, and he's calling for people to get checked for it, which is good. And this Bondi Beach gunman was linked to the Islamic State 6 years ago. So it's one of those where they really should be keeping an eye on these people and certainly not allowing their fathers to have as many guns as they want. This guy's had 6 guns that were got legally with a license. That's not going to happen anymore in America. America. That's not going to happen anymore in Australia. That's it. You're going to be allowed 1 gun. And I think it should be smart guns. That's it. You can't fire them at people. If a phone is smart enough to recognize your face to open it, a gun should be smart enough to know that it's being pointed at a human being and it should not be used. Or a living thing. How about that? Guns are not allowed to kill a living thing. Oh, but what if you get attacked by a bear? What if a dingo steals your baby? Well, whatever. Just don't take your baby out in the fucking bush and leave them in a fucking carriage next to a fucking dingo, I guess. But then there's this really horrible headline in the Daily Express on the right, which says, farmers will take their own lives to avoid cruel tax. Starmer was attacked yesterday, refusing to drop his cruel tax raid on farmers, despite warnings that some may kill themselves. Why? If your problem's inheritance tax, and your kids having to pay inheritance tax, surely that's the problem. You want to stay alive as long as possible. And give your kids like £1 million a year, whatever the limit is, for gifts for your kids, tax-free. I mean, that just seems like the bit in Monty Python where the suicide fucking brigades come out to save Brian and they'll just end up killing themselves. And he's like, you idiots! I'm like, yeah. I'm not saying that farming isn't a stressful job. It absolutely is, but it's not helped by people lying about this inheritance tax bollocks, to say, it's £5.5 million tax-free. You can get all the farm equipment and machinery and all that shit. You can get that put into a trust. You can get it put into a fucking company. It's owned by the company. You're not going to get inheritance tax on the company. Set yourself up as a limited company. Set yourself up as a PLC. Whatever, farmland, Jasper's Farm, PLC, whatever. Register yourself a company house, you'll be fine. There's ways around it. The point is that there were people like Jeremy Clarkson who said out loud, out of their face, that they bought farmland in order to avoid paying inheritance tax. If you want to blame anyone for this coming in, right? If you want to blame someone, if you want to find someone to say this is their fault that we're now having to pay inheritance tax, 20%, not 40% on farmland, right? Blame Jeremy Clarkson. Because he's the one. He's the one who said it. He said it out loud. He said, I bought this so my kids don't have to pay inheritance tax. It's a lovely little loophole. Hope no one closes it. Bringing it to the attention of the government. That, seems a bit unfair. That people who own vast swathes of land in the UK get to pass the vast swathes of land onto their children with no tax to pay, whereas someone who has a small flat in London, their children have to then sell the flat to pay off the inheritance tax, because flats in London cost £1 million. I remember my dad taking a friend to scout camp with a trailer full of camping gear. We were rear-ended by a car, which resulted in the tow bar going into the fuel tank. Shit, that's a bit grim, that, Chris. I'm sorry that happened to you. My car got totaled at 15 miles an hour because the distracted driver rear-ended me. I had to file a mobile police report. Driver was really rude about it too. Car didn't look totaled. Corolla turned into a Prius. Well, that's the thing, Liz. I mean, the way cars are made these days, it's all units, isn't it, of the car. So if you crack your wing mirror, you can't just get a new bit of glass. You can't just get a new mirror to go in. You got to buy a whole housing and the machinery inside the machinery, the motor inside it, and you've got to buy the cowling. You've got to buy the stuff that. We should be asking why farmers are struggling, but we won't, as we are addicted to low food prices. Yeah, that's true. That makes headlines. Trans are doing it and nothing, says L. Unaliving rates have always been high in the farming community, says Chris. Yeah, it's a fucking difficult job, and I think that people should be getting support. I really do. But we shouldn't be allowing people who have loads of money to invest in farmland just so that their nepo babies don't have to pay an inheritance tax. We've got the Daily Mail going to becoming a gym god. Oh God, please top back on you, whatever. Drivers wrongly fined in speed camera scandal. Thousands have speeding cases scrapped after it's revealed 40% of cameras on motorways and A roads had fault. Yeah, try not to get too excited. It's only a handful of the millions of fines that are handed out. But yeah, between 2021, I think, and 2024, bunch of cameras which had changed the speed on the camera, but the signage hadn't changed yet. And there was a 10-second window where drivers who were still going at 50 miles an hour through the gantry were snapped, and they should have been going at 40 miles an hour, but they had no way of knowing that because they weren't time travelers. But it's only a tiny, tiny, tiny proportion of the millions of camera offences, camera fines that have been handed out, meted out. But yes, this is a fault that a lot of us kind of picked up on, because we're like, well, what if the fucking what if the number changes while you're underneath the gantry? Is there a 30-second delay? Well, you'll think, wouldn't you? You'll think the people who put it together would go, hang on, shouldn't we put a 30-second delay between the new speed coming up on the gantry platform screen? Shouldn't we have a little bit of a time lag before the cameras turn on? And they went, no, because we can make more money by not having that. In fact, let's have it so that the cameras they turn on 10 seconds before the gantry even tells you got to go at 40. Job's a good one. I loved Bondi Beach when I visited 15 years ago. So beautiful and safe. Gun violence is very rare in Australia, yet this murder has me sad and angry. And I'm just about the one-a-day US gun killings. Yeah, it is really shocking. This is the greatest loss of life in a shooting incident since 1995. I think the Port Arthur massacre was, in which 35 people were killed, which brought in some really stringent gun laws into Australia. And I never felt unsafe in Australia like I feel unsafe in America. Like America, my experience in America, I feel was quite close to my experience in Saudi Arabia. And I do think these two countries are merging into one. And I think it's not going to be long now before Trump's Sharia law becomes law in America, where everyone's looking over their shoulder the whole time in case they say the wrong thing, they do the wrong thing, because then they'll get cut up with a bone saw or buried up to their neck in sand and then have stones thrown at their face till they're dead. I could see that happening in America. One of the things that Charlie Kirk, who's dead, said before he got shot dead by someone who had a gun on a college campus, that he campaigned for people to have guns on college campuses. He said that he thought that guns were fucking great, and that people should all be walking around with guns all the fucking time, and they should open carry these guns, and that resulted in his untimely demise. But it's the way he wanted to go. But he said, it was a price he was willing to pay. I think he thought that it was like other people who would have to pay that price. It wouldn't actually come down on him, but it did come down on him. So live by the gun, die by the gun. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, the safety aspect, and the idea that in America, the chances of dying a violent death are just so much higher than they are in other countries, than they are in our country. And it's just one of those things where, I was constantly looking over my shoulder when I was there, the same way I was in Saudi Arabia, because I didn't want to do the wrong thing, upset the wrong person, look at someone the wrong way, and then end up being put on death fucking row. Because one of the other things that Charlie Kirk one of the things he advocated for was public executions. He thought that children should be taken to see people being murdered by the state. Ironically, his kids then went and saw him being fucking brutally executed by not the state, but by someone with a gun. That's going to fuck them up for life. Kind of feel sorry for them. Don't feel sorry for Charlie. Certainly don't feel sorry for his wife, who within 12 hours of his death was putting merch online to make money out of her husband's death. It's nice, isn't it? So yeah, the other story here on the Daily Star is "Get Out the Fucking Way." This is about this Pete Paul Doyle fucking dickhead who injured more than 100 fans. You can see him there in the car, surrounded by police officers. Fucking crazy fucking motherfucker. Then we have the Bondi Terror gunman was on watch list, which is a big grim, considering they let his father have fucking firearms. Like, if someone's on a watch list, right? First of all, you keep an eye on them. Secondly, don't let them anywhere near guns. Oh, can I buy this gun? No. Why? Because your son is on a watch list. We have the technology. I like the way that we don't have the technology when it comes to guns. Like, there was over 1 billion people with a fucking Facebook account. Like, Facebook knows what school you went to and what your inside leg measurement is and what your mum's maiden name was and all this kind of shit. They know all that stuff. They got all that data. They sell it to Palantir. They sell it to Cambridge Analytica. They sell it to Leave.eu and Vladimir Putin and whoever else wants to buy your data. But we can't put data together for a database of who owns fucking guns and who's been given bullets and what the serial numbers of those bullets are. And, sorry, mate, your kid's on a terrorist watch list. You cannot buy a gun. Oh, that's not fair. Yes, it is. It's absolutely fair. It's as fair as it fucking comes. You just don't get a gun. Oh, but what if you get attacked by a bear? Just fucking don't live somewhere where might be attacked by a bear. Move fucking house. Go and stay somewhere. Oh, you live in Sydney. You're not going to get attacked by a bear, mate. You're all right. You don't need a gun to fucking take out a whitetail. You don't need a gun to take out a huntsman. Liverpool madman is due to be sentenced shortly. We'll keep you informed, says Chris C. 40 years. He's got to get 40 fucking years for this. I do kind of feel sorry for his family, It's like that. Imagine going through that, and then I think the community in Liverpool aren't blaming them, but it's going to be, that's going to be a black mark against their name forever, isn't it? Doctors strike despite flu fears. So despite we're streeting the balloon-faced cunt, apparently playing a blinder. The doctors are going on strike anyway. They voted overwhelmingly to go on strike during the flu season, which is a bit grim. This is the new MI6 boss here. Blaze Meterwell is her name, I think. Is that her name? Can't read it. It's really small on the screen. Hang on. Let me just have it. I'm going to look it up now. Blaze Meterwell. Metervelli. Metervelli? Do you pronounce it Metervelli? I think so. I'm going to have to add her to the private school mafia, probably, aren't I? Let me just see. She was born in Nazi-occupied Ukrainian. Whoa. Her father was born in Nazi-occupied Ukraine. Wow, fucking hell. She attended the Latimer School, the voluntary aided selective educational grammar school. Oh, okay then. I'll let her off. She's not on my list. Not putting her on she went to a selective school. I went to a selective school. I'll let you off. You went to a state school. Okay, you can carry on being head of MI6. She's bugged at the fact that Russia are interfering in our democracy. She said Russia's the biggest threat. The global influence of Vladimir Putin is the biggest threat that we are facing at the moment, which is very true. And also in the front cover of the Telegraph here, we have Trump kicks off BBC court battle. He's suing the corporation for $5 billion. I've read somewhere it's $10 billion for editing the words that he said. He thinks that the words that he said were AI. He thinks that he didn't actually say those words. He fucking did. They just edited it for brevity. Did he mean for the people who were at his rally to go and march on the Capitol? Yes, he fucking did. He absolutely meant that, and that's where he got impeached in the Parliament building in America, in the Congress, the Capitol. He got done. He got done for that, and it was only because of political wranglings, because his party wouldn't turn against him in the Senate, that he didn't actually go to jail for the rest of his life for committing that crime that he totally fucking committed. So the BBC should tell him to fuck off. He's brought this in Florida, and he said that people could watch it using a BritBox, which they couldn't. And also, he said that it wasn't available on BritBox. He's also said that people could use a VPN and watch it on BBC iPlayer, which is breaking the law. So yeah, criminals could watch this thing that they weren't supposed to watch, and it could have influenced the election. He won the election. He won the election. So there's no material damage to him, to his reputation, because we think he's a fucking scumbag. And we will dance. We will dance on the day, the big beautiful day when it comes. We will dance. You can dance if you want to. Leave your friends behind, because if they don't dance, then I don't dance, and then they're friends of mine. Fucked that up, didn't I? Doctors strike to leave elderly stranded in hospitals. That doesn't sound great, does it? US offered to protect Ukraine, but only if it gives up territory. What a bunch of gobshites in the US running the country at the moment. Public sector's pay rises will shrink, says Reeves. Bondi beach gunman faced IS investigation. Islamic State investigation. Union threatens king with cold Christmas. This is the union bosses are threatening to deprive the king and royal family of fuel supplies over Christmas. And then we got the job czar. Benefit crisis is worsening because more people on benefits. The problem is the word benefits also covers pensions, and we've got the triple lock on pensions. So, whatever's higher, whether it's price rises, the wage rise, or whether it's inflation, or whether it's 2.5%, whichever is the highest, what's it called? The pensioners. The pensioners get the money because the pensioners vote. The pensioners got all the money. I used to say about 1 in 5 pensioners being millionaires, and I'm really sorry. I just want to say I'm really sorry because I was wrong. I was wrong. It's not 1 in 5. It's not 1 in 5 at all. It's 1 in 4. 1 in 4 pensioners, millionaires. Yeah. 1 in 5 are living in poverty because of the wealth distribution in this country is not great. But 1 in 4 pensioners are millionaires. And that's why we are in trouble. That is why we are in trouble. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. Whoa. Sorry. The Latimer School was attended by her father. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. She actually went to Westminster School, which means I do have to add her to the private school mafia list. Let's do that now. We'll do it together. It'll be fun. Should we go to the private school mafia list? Come on, let's do this. Let's fucking do this, right? Wow. You're gonna get to see a bit behind the scenes here, I think. Maybe. I don't know how I'm gonna do this so you can actually see it properly, because it's cropped at the sides. I crop it like a cropper, like a cropping person. Just give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can just do something clever here. I don't think I can, because I think that if I go over here, yeah, you can't see the left of the page there. I don't really know how to make it so you can see the... Oh, actually, let's have a look. If I go here, and then if I grab it... Oh, there you go. Oh, beautiful. So this is, just to share this with you now, this is my private school mafia list, okay? So this is the list of all the people who are in the private school mafia. Look at all these people in the private school mafia. We've got over 100 here in just the A's. In just the A's. We've got Anna Taylor-Joy there, Olo Parks, Amano Annucci, Ashley Fox, 117 people. Well, it's 116 actually, because the top row is just the name and the institution. We've got 116 people whose first name begins with A. We've got Banksy in there. We've got Barry Gardner, the MP, the Corbyn crony. We've got Bear Grylls in there because of course we have Bella Ramsey. We liked her in The Last of Us, didn't we? Not really, not the second season. Ben Mendelsohn is in there. Why have you spelt Mendelsohn wrong there, Graham? Why did you put a H in Mendelsohn? I'll fix that. There you go. All fixed. All lovely. Ben Wallace, Benedict Allen, Ben Turnbull. He's dead. Chris. What was that one? Carrie Hughes from Princess Bride. Amy Walker says, Cal Surprise, another Nepo baby. Yeah, Nepo babies, they make their dreams come true. Dooby wop. Dido Harding, Ed Balls, Ed Sheeran, Ed Gamble, Ed Davey, Ed O'Brien, fucking hell, Emerald Ferrell. We're only up to the E's here. FKA Twigs, oh God, she's so street in that private school. Frank Turner, he's rock and roll, man. Million Dead, yeah. Eaton. And then we got like George Nash. We got Griff Rhys Jones. He's incredibly posh. Did you know? Harry Cole is in there as well. Oh my God. We've got Harry Mount, who's a random toff, writer for The Spectator, Boris Johnson crony, member of the Independent House of Lords Appointments Committee. He's one of the people who signed off on the lover, perhaps secret daughter, who knows, of Boris Johnson being elevated to the Lords at the age of 29 for doing nothing. We've got some Hugos here. We've got Hugo Weaving. We've got Hugo Taylor. We've got Hugh Pym. We've got Hugh Laurie. We've got Hugh Grant. We've got Hugh Grundy, Hugh Fernley Whittenstall. You wouldn't think that he went to private school with a name like that. Anyway, so what we need to do is we need to go all the way to the bottom here because this goes on quite a surprisingly long time. And Paul Marshall in there, who owns GB News, of course. Robert Patterson there, who's in movies. Stephen Fry, of course. There's two people called Stephen Morris, for fuck's sake. Two of them went to private school. Tim Brooke Taylor, and just everyone on TV. Just absolutely everyone. Tim Westwood, sex offender, on TV. Vicky Butler Henderson. Oh, my God, whatever. Zoe Williams, Zara Dawson. Look at that. Can you see the number there in the bottom left? 1,298. It's all of the places that these motherfuckers went to. And they're not all motherfuckers. I mean, some of them I quite like. But, you know, Victoria Common, Victoria Derbyshire, Victoria Prentice, Victoria Sharp, Warwick Davis. Yeah, even Willow. Even Willow went to private school because he's allowed on the telly. If you're allowed on the telly, Tim Davey, Tim Hutchins, Tim Martin, Tim Rice, Tim Vine, Tim Westwood, Tim Wilcox, Tim Wilson. All of them went to private school. Every single fucking one of them went to private fucking school. Anyway, so occasionally, I mean once a day, I add to this list with a new person who's not already on here. So I'm going to find Blaze here, BL. What would that come above? Bonnie Langford, Blair Dunlop. Okay, Blaze, Blair. What comes first? RST. RS. So it will come above Blaze Dunlop. So we will insert a row above. Blair Dunlop. I think Blaze comes BLAS. No. I fucked that up. Hang on, Graham. You've messed that up, you silly boy. Hang on. We'll get Blair Dunlop. There you go. Hello, Blair. How you doing? We're going to put you there. You stay there, Blair. And then we're going to have Blaze, which is S rather than R. You see, you've got to work out. I'm going to put that name in there. Blaze Mitawelli. Blaze Florence Mitawelli. And I'm going to put that you attended the Westminster School. There you go. Let's see if this works. Yes. Don't need that D from attended. And it says Westminster School. Right, there you go. And we're going to put in her profession as head of MI6. There we go. Lovely. Okay, we've added to the list. Now we have 1,299 entries. It's actually one less because of the header. But there you go. That was fun, wasn't it? Wasn't that a fun little thing to do? A fun little exercise there to, look at the private school mafia, update my list. That is fucking crazy. Graham's favourite, Jeremy Corbyn's on that list. Yeah, he went to private prep school. And also, everyone around him went to private school. All the politicians who were in his like close inner circle, and Seamus Milne, his advisor, and all those motherfuckers, they all went to private school. There's a guy called Andrew Murray, not the tennis player, but Andrew Murray, the Corbyn crony, who he was actually part of the aristocracy. He wasn't just someone who went to private school. He was part of the fucking aristocracy. He's a blue-blooded, horny-handed fucking son of the soil or something. I don't know. I know you think that I'm a bit obsessed, and maybe I slightly am with my list, but it is just. I think that it's the best way to show just how incredibly unfair the United Kingdom is. If you're not born into money, if you didn't, go to private school. And people who go there are lovely people who go to private. Yes, there are. I've got friends who went to private school, Fami's on that list. Alex from Political X is on that list. Not Marina. Who does the Gemma? Gemma Forte is on that list. There's a lot of people. Zach Polanski's on that list. Of course he is. He's a political leader in England. They all went to private school. Like every single political leader in England went to private school. That's quite mind-blowing, isn't it? There you go. You really need to classify those private schools. Many of those people went to stage schools or Vauxhall League private school, hardly Premiership League schools like Eton and Winchester. For some shook, what difference does it make? What they've achieved? There are people on the TV, and they weren't educated in the normal state school system. Like 93% of us are. So no, I'm not gonna have a league table of who went to Eton and who went to Vauxhall Comp. No, actually, no. Vauxhall Comp, no. Vauxhall Division, fucking private school for ladies. I think that's just trying to obscure the reality that if you are born into money in this country, the doors just open. There's a lot of people on that list who aren't very talented. Like, Matt Hancock killed tens of thousands of us Brits. Matt Hancock did that. And the reason he thought he could do that job, not being a doctor, not having any medical fucking understanding or, any ability to do anything in a productive, good way, no management skills, no logistics understanding, nothing. He just gave a bunch of shady contracts to his fucking pub landlord and his mate from school, and tens of thousands of us Brits died as a result of the private school mafia putting him into a position of power that he should never have been in a million years, a million miles, a million light years close to. And I genuinely believe that he would never, ever have got that far with government had he not gone to the right school and made the right connections as a result of that school, moved in those circles. Anyway, if you keep watching, by the way, I'm gonna send you over to Reagan Elite's channel in a bit. So just keep watching, But before we do that, we've got a few minutes left, so I'm gonna say, MI6 chiefs, globe tech giants are seizing power from politicians. Operation Stop Farage. Polanski would work with Labour to keep reform at number 10. Good. That is great news. That's actually the best news we've had for a long time. Tears, flowers and silence. Sydney unites in grief after Bondi horror. Hopes for breakthrough in Ukraine peace talks. Doctors to strike after rejecting last-ditch offer. Simple, selfish rage sparked parade terror. A driver who struck 100 football fans was using car as weapon to get past crowds. Just unbelievable. Gun law vow. Bondi mourns attack victims. So we'll head over to the Financial Times now to go into this a little bit further. And mortgage rules poised for easing in bid to widen access and boost growth. I guess that's good news for people with mortgages. EU's 2035 combustion engine ban set to be scrapped after industry pressure, because of course it is, because the oil companies are just too fucking powerful. And they should not be. And doctors' strike still on out the streeting deal rejected. EY projected probed over Shell. Phantom inflation risk. Business backs in job rights. AA examines options. Ukraine hits Russian sub. Sanctions on oil trader. Lie found guilty in HK. What of lying? And I'll celebrate Christmas this year with the odd Till Death Do Us Part Christmas special and South Park season finale for the year. Still not watched the season finale. I do need to do that. I honestly can't understand why any parent would want their kid to go to private school after seeing the buffoonery throughout the pandemic. I'd rather have my kids have brain tanks. Yeah, but if you want your kids to earn millions and get to do all the free stuff and awesome things with their lives, like, you know, get the BBC, get the taxpayers, the license fee payers to pay for their free holidays to travel around the world, then, you know, private school's the way. That's why James O'Brien, who went to private school, his kids go to private school. He doesn't agree with private schools. But he says they exist, so I'm going to fucking use them. Because I want my kids to get all the opportunities that it's possible to give them. But then again, you know, this is really grim to say, but maybe there's a lot of parents who are rich and, you know, successful, who are terrified of their own children because their children are little fucking psychopaths. Because they've had access to privilege at a very early age. They've had access to drugs at a very early age. Maybe this, what's happened to Rob Reiner, is a warning. It's a warning from the Nepo babies of, like, you know, this is what happens. This is what happens if you don't give us everything we want. If you don't buy a recording studio for us. If you don't get me into that audition. If you don't get that role for me. Yeah, that's quite a scary thought. Glad I'm not rich. Okay. As long as Polanski remains firm in his anti-Brexit pledge and uses that as leverage over any future Lib-Lam alliance. Yeah, that'll be good. Here in the US, it's property taxes that fund public schools, so zip code is everything. Too many liberal types won't equalise the system. We've had to pay for our elders to go to private school, prep to sixth form, as my partner teaches, so they get 50% discount. Thankfully turned into an academy the year he was due to start. Whoa, got in there just in time there, Martin. Listen, I'm going to head off now. I'm going to shunt you all over to Reagan Elite's channel. So if you want to go and join that, you are very welcome to do so. Just keep watching this channel. You will go over there automatically. I'll be back at 7:30 this evening, hopefully with Ollie Bowler Hatman to talk geoscope about what's happening around the world. So please join us for that. I just want to say thank you for watching and thank you for the super chats. That is really, really appreciated. Please give us a like on the way out. If you haven't already liked this video, give us a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Really, really helps out. And hit the bell notification icon so you know when we're going live, because we'll be doing some specials over the next couple of weeks because we're building up to Christmas. So until next time, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.